So you have to do the work of relationships, but you cannot do the work of relationships unless you understand the worship of relationships. Relationships are not secular, they're spiritual. Matter of fact, if you look at a marriage ceremony, the old ones primarily, at the top it always says, holy matrimony. You see, Jesus met a lady at the well. You probably remember the story. She had been married 5 times. Now, she was taking a whack at finding the right guy, wasn't she? I mean, if somebody can, I'm going to find somebody that can meet my needs. 5 guys. Now she's living with a guy, okay? So she's taking a whack at it. Jesus says to her, and he may be saying to you, when are you going to realize another person cannot meet your deepest needs? Another person is incapable of loving you unconditionally all the time and giving you total forgiveness. They can't do it. Why? They got the same Adam suit you got. Remember, we all come from the Adam's family. Remember Uncle Adam? And what do? You get this Adam suit that you cannot totally redeem. That's why God's got to kill it to get it into heaven, get you into heaven. It's not going. Why? Because you can't totally redeem it. And so you may make progress, but you can never love another person all the time the way they need to be loved. So Jesus said to her, and he may be saying to you, let me give you living water, something that actually quench that thirst. Let me love you unconditionally and give you total forgiveness so you will feel treasured as a person, so you'll feel loved and blessed as a person, so you'll be freed up to bless others. You see, I believe the way we treat others, primarily in our family, is the ultimate act of worship. I think we get worship confused sometimes. If I ask you, when do you worship, you would actually give me a time on Sunday that you worship. This actually, in some sense, isn't worship. This is getting you ready for worship. More worship happens not when you come in, it happens when you go out, you see. Why? How do I know that? Well, Jesus was the true worshiper. He gave more glory to God than anybody. So if you want to be a worshiper, you need to do what Jesus did. Well, what did he do? Well, he went to the synagogue. It didn't go all that well when he went, but he went. We don't really have any record of him singing songs. I mean, really, we don't. I mean, he may have. He was with a group that sang one time, a couple times, but we don't. I mean, it doesn't say Jesus sang. It doesn't say it. So all the things we think is worship really isn't all that important in terms of what God says is worship. See, matter of fact, God says in 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 7, talking to men, he makes it very spiritual. He said, if you don't make your wife a joint heir, a partner, and you don't learn how to communicate with her, remember at 4 o'clock, I'm going to teach you how to do that. I'm going to teach you how to listen. Then your prayers are going to be hindered. Your prayers aren't going to be answered. Wow, that's pretty spiritual, isn't it? And then it says in verse 8, talking to all of us, it says, really uses the same words it uses in chapter 2 describing Jesus. We don't revile when people revile against us. We do good. We bless people. We're chosen to bless people. And then it says, you will love your life and you will see good days. And fantastic in verse 12, because it's just the opposite of verse 7. Remember when your prayers will be hindered? Verse 12 says, God's ears will be open to your prayers. It's almost like God is stretching out of heaven. Can't wait to answer your prayers. And you know what that's contingent on? Most people, Christians, would say, oh, prayer, Bible. No. It's contingent on how you treat people, primarily the people in your family. It has to be an act of worship. You can't otherwise do it. See, worship isn't about raising your hands, it's about reaching out your hands to those people. Now, why is it crucial in relationships? It's crucial because of this. People need love the most when they least deserve it. That's why it's got to be an act of worship, or you can't keep it up. See, my wife, let me tell you about my wife. When she's in a good mood and things are going well and there's money in the bank and my schedule's full and the grandkids are doing good and everybody's buying my books, which I'd appreciate if you would, it's pretty easy to love my wife. But guess what? She doesn't need my love. You know when she really needs my love? When she's in a stinking mood. No money in the bank, schedule's empty, nobody's buying any books, the grandkids are messing up. And I say something nice to her, and she says something ugly back to me. That's when she really needs my love. And that's when I really don't want to give it to her. I want to say, stick it in your ear, lady. I deserve better than this. But that's when I can love her as an act of worship. I can love her when she's a jerkette. Why? Because God loved me when I was a jerk. That's why. She can love me when I'm a jerk. Why? Because God loved her when she's a jerkette. That's why we have a higher commitment to our relationship. That's why we've been married over 40 years. That's why we grow and break our hips together. Why? Because we see it as an act of worship. Let me tell you, my friend, you cannot keep up the work of relationships unless you understand the worship of relationships. It's hard work. The people need love the most when they least deserve it.